Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Lona Chipkoech, and this is going to be my first video in this YouTube channel. So, guys, I've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel for a while now, but for some reason, I haven't been confident enough to start. But after thinking about it so much, and I decided, you know what, let's do it, let's do it. So, the reason I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel is to share information about or rather to share knowledge and to encourage people about IT in general. So I'm an IT professional. I have about 5 years now in the field. And the reason I'm doing this is so that I can encourage someone out there that I don't know if I don't know if it's to really encourage or rather to maybe share information that will be really useful for someone who's coming out of campus or someone who is even in the field and wondering how best can I market myself. So I'm not saying I'm there yet though, but at least it's something I can share with someone so that they can understand, what is needed in the market for you to be able to market yourself as an IT professional. So I've seen over time, I've seen people just finish this kind of courses and stay at home, especially people coming from the village. It's really hard if someone doesn't have, someone else to tell them, you know what, you can do this and probably get a job. But most people just, some people actually, not most, some people just finish their courses, they go back home and they'll end up saying, these careers are not worthy enough, they don't have jobs and the like. And it's because there are no jobs. It's because sometimes we lack we lack someone to enlighten us on the type of skills that are really needed in the market, especially for IT or engineering. This kind of courses, they don't just require you to come out of campus. They require you to have some add-ons, add-ons, some extra skills so that you can be at an advantage. For example, for me, I did telecommunication engineering at my university. Being a telecom engineer, just doing your work in campus, like going to class, reading, passing your exams, and coming out, with a second class honors or a first class or whichever grade that you get in campus, it's not enough. It's not enough, to be honest. There are so many skills that will really come handy if you have, so that at least if you go to the market and start looking for a job, then they'll give you a upper hand. So that's why I've decided to open this channel. Let's share information. Let's encourage people so that people don't give up on courses, on some courses, especially when it comes to engineering and IT. It can be really discouraging for some people, because remember, some engineering courses, they go for 5 years. Man, I did 5 years in campus, and I had the idea that I'm doing telecom engineering, so I'll come out of campus and get a job in places like Safaricom, Telecom. But that's not the case. You might be lucky to get a job, but it's not usually the case. Sometimes you have to struggle. You have to do some other things just to have something on the side, that you can show the recruiter that apart from me graduating in telecom engineering or whichever course, I've also done maybe this certification, or this is what I've been practicing. These are some of the things that I've been doing that can actually show that you're ready to work for someone, ready to work for an employer. So for IT is really nice because some of these add-on things that we are talking about, you can actually learn by yourself. Um, if you talk about, I know for most of us, we're probably using Windows operating system, but you find that if you go out there, you might be required to be knowing another operating system, mostly Linux. And Linux is something you can learn. You don't have to wait and say, oh, because now I don't have experience in Linux, then I'm not going to get a job. No, those are some of the things you can learn on your own and go out there and show that you have some experience. Because what's experience? Experience is you installing that operating system on your machine and start, utilizing it even for your own things. And at the end of the day, that is actually experience. So there's so many things that we need to, let people know so that they come out of, being closed in the specific course that they did, but rather to expand their minds to the different technologies, which are really being used by most companies right now. Talk about things like cloud computing, for example, it's really coming into the market. Okay, it has come, it's still going on, and you find that most of the campus don't even mention anything about cloud computing if you are doing an engineering course. Yeah. So, and those are some of the things that you come out here and you realize, oh, these are the technologies which are being used. So you need someone to, at least, if you can't, maybe probably by yourself, you may not be able to get that information. Then you need someone to talk to and ask them, what is really needed out there for me to probably get a job when I get out of campus. So that's things, if you get someone to encourage you, someone to share information, that will be really nice. And that's why I've decided to open this channel. It will be very interactive. I want you people to ask questions. I'll be sharing, some information on the things I know so far, but I also want you to ask questions, something specific to you. I want this to be very specific to each and every one of you. If you have a question, a very specific question to you on anything IT, kindly ask on the comment sections. I'll be able to answer. Um, let's make this channel a channel whereby we'll be encouraging, or rather sharing information with the idea of making someone better. Yeah, that's what I really want this channel to be, so that we don't go home and say, oh, but then I've had cases where when I go back to the village, people are like, hata hizo kosa mnafanya hata hazitupei kazi. That's not the point. I understand the situation in Kenya that jobs ni kidogo, but sometimes we are also needed to push. We're also needed to push in terms of what are we doing by ourselves that can market us out there. So I've seen, we have these colleges which have been started back in the villages, where people can be taught a course like IT, but because it's still in the village, a person will finish the course there in the village, and they'll go back to the village because they don't know what else to do. Yeah, they're done with the course, and so what. So this sometimes back, I think last month, but one, I decided to start an online platform to teach people. I started registering people, but it was a bit hard because in the village again, there are no probably computers, or someone having a good phone that you can have a direct one-on-one online coaching, and even internet is also an issue. So it was really hard. I got some people, was able to call them by phone, but you can't call someone by phone and start explaining everything that person would want to know. Yeah, so it would have been good if we get a platform which you can have a one-on-one online call, video call. But now, being in the village with the challenges which I've mentioned, like internet, good phones or laptops, then it was a challenge. Then I decided maybe a YouTube channel will be better, because if someone gets a phone, even borrow a friend a phone one day, they can watch my videos. They don't have to be there like one-on-one interaction calling. Yeah, you see. So I decided, let me do a YouTube channel, but I'll still follow up some of the people whom I've had registered, so that we can at least still share some information. So this is basically for encouraging one another, sharing information, making people open up their minds to the emerging technologies, so that they also don't just have to stay in the village. They can at least start doing something by themselves. A little bit of my story, guys. Even the reason I really want to do this is because I was born in the village. It was really hard. I didn't have a laptop. Even for the 5 years which I did my engineering course in campus, I didn't have a laptop. So, and I didn't know so many things actually. Me, I just knew I have to go to class, must attend class. That's what I knew. Must do my exams and must pass. You know, that's the only thing I knew. I came from a very humble background. My mom couldn't afford to buy me a laptop, so the only thing I knew is I have to pass. I have to photocopy a handout, read it, pass my exams. But there's more into that. There's more into that. And I really thank God, because even after coming out of campus, without knowing so many things, even without having a laptop, even having done an engineering course, I came across a friend who was also in Moi at that time. okay, we finished together, and he had already gotten a job within like the first months of us coming out of campus. And I called him and I was like, hey, how did you do it? How did you get a job? And he was like, you know what, you need to come to Nairobi, and I'll like guide you on some of the things that you need to know. And he's a savior. He's a savior because he doesn't really know how much he has impacted my life. And yeah, that's why I'm doing this, because there's another person out there was like me. But if I didn't call that friend of mine, probably I wouldn't be here right now. So I know that so many people in that situation, they don't know who to talk to. They feel like, I did this because then what? Yeah. So that's why I've started this YouTube channel. So kindly share widely. This was just an introduction to what we're going to do. Kindly share as we prepare videos. And what I really, really encourage is ask me questions directly. Ask me how I got to get my first job, what the things that I studied at that time, because I know for now there's so many things which I've gotten into, but in the beginning, what actually made me to get my first job, um, the progress. Ask me about the progress, the kind of technologies that we need to know. I'll answer you guys. And also, what else? What else? Yes, the thing about certifications. I know, right? Right now, there's so many, as I said, there's so many technologies coming up in the IT industry, and in most cases, you realize that there's some certifications accompanying those specific technologies, and you find that some companies will actually prefer someone who has a certification. I'm not saying certifications is a must, but sometimes there's also an upper hand for you to get that job. So I've done some certifications in cloud, specifically AWS cloud. So I'll also be sharing that, how I got to start studying for those courses, and now I finally passed my exams. I'm also still working on doing some other certifications. Currently I'm so much into things to do with cloud. So the public clouds, the AWS, Amazon, you have Azure, you have Google. So I've done certifications for Amazon and Oracle, and I'm also working on a certification at least for these other clouds, Google and Azure. So let's share this information. Let's let people know how they can start, studying for certifications, how they can even get vouchers, such things, because some of the vouchers which I used for my certifications were actually free. But how can you get to be in that position where you get a free voucher? Because those certificates, some of them are really expensive, but there are platforms you can actually get into and get a free certificate. So these are some of the things that I really, really want us to share together. Let's not have people giving up because of the kind of courses they did, and it's just because it's lack of information. And this is what I want us to do here, guys. Let's share information. I know that there could be techies watching me right now, even having more experience and expertise than I am. Kindly reach out to me if you want to share some content. I'll be able to allow you to use the channel and share the content, because we just want to share content. We just want to encourage one another. We just want to enlighten one another. That's it. That's it, nothing more. So this was just an introduction. Thank you so much for watching this one, and we meet in the next video. And kindly share to your friends, share to your IT friends out there who probably are looking for ways to coming out to the market. Share widely, and subscribe so that we can reach as many people as possible. By the way, guys, I realized we don't have so many YouTube channels in Kenya teaching. Yeah, we have so many YouTube channels. I'm specifically talking about the ones that teach different courses, yeah, like IT or business or mathematics and the like. I know they're there, but I don't think there are many. So I think it's high time we also start doing this kind of videos, because we need people to be knowledgeable. Yeah, instead of yeah, yeah. So many YouTube channels are really important. We have comedy, we also have to laugh and and be happy. But let's also encourage this kind of content so that we make our people, enlightened in the different technologies coming up. So that's it for now. Bye bye, and let's meet in the next one.